Here are the questions. How many types of honors programs are there? What are the requirements? And how do you get into them at UT? Well, lucky for you, I'm here to answer all those questions. Hey guys, it's Claire from Clarified Creations, and today I'm going to be talking about the honors programs at UT. Today I'll be discussing all 4 of the honors programs so you guys can get a sense of which one is right for you, how to apply, all the information that you need to know so you can make an informed decision on the honors program at UTK, University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Okay, I'm in honors, now what? My questions really weren't answered and I had to learn as I went for them, so I'm here to help you guys out and let's get into it. Alrighty, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit of background information so you can validate my credentials. Yes, I am a member of the 1794's honors program, so I do naturally know the most about it. We're going to the honors convocation now. The first thing I'm going to touch on is how to apply. Now there's 2 ways you can get into the honors program. The first way is being invited as a high school senior, and then the second way is applying after you've done about a semester or a year. I'll leave that up here. For the traditional method, if you're invited as a high school senior, you need to have certain requirements, but you do need to be invited into the honors program, so you can't just simply apply as an upcoming freshman. Typically, when you're admitted into the University of Tennessee, you'll get that acceptance letter, and then you'll also get an invitation to apply for honors. Depending on your ACT score and your GPA, you'll be invited to either one of the honors programs or multiple of them. Once you get the acceptance letter and you make the decision to go ahead and apply for honors, there are some things you need to know. Yes, there is an extra step in the application process. More than likely, everybody who applies will not get in. At least, I don't think that is the case. Then you're going to be asked to write a supplemental essay depending on which ones you're eligible for. Now, I was only eligible for the 1794's program. With that, I only had to write one essay, which was very manageable. Guess what, guys? I do remember the prompts, so hopefully this will help you out. I'm not sure if they change the prompts every year. I'd imagine they probably do, but here is my prompt for 2018 upcoming freshman. My prompt went somewhere along the lines of this. How do you embody the volunteer spirit, since it was one of the pillars of the 1794's program, and how do you plan on focusing on that at UT? So I had to write about the volunteer spirit and what that meant to me and how I plan to continue that throughout my time at UT. The prompt wasn't too terrible, I thought. It was relatively manageable, and then the requirements for the essay were about 250 words or less, so really not a very long essay at all. It only took me maybe an hour or so to write it. It was super quick, and then you send it in. I got word that I was accepted probably 3 weeks later, around the beginning of December. I'm pretty sure that's when all honors programs notify you, so be checking your email inboxes in December. My email inbox did not notify me. It actually showed up in the little promotions button, so if you have your Gmail set, make sure that you're checking it frequently and all the folders of it, because I didn't see it until somebody else told me that they had gotten in, and I was like, what? It's already out? How come I did not get an email? Let's quickly talk about the other way you can join honors if you weren't invited initially as a upcoming freshman. If you guys don't have that ACT score, it's okay. You can still apply after your first year of college. Some people also choose not to join honors because they don't know what kind of workload it's going to be and they don't want to add that extra stress, which is completely understandable. It's relatively easy to apply as an already established student at UT. You go on their website, you click the apply button for the honors, you select which one you want to do, and then you go from there, fill out the application, and also write an essay. Alrighty, now what you guys have been waiting for, the comparison of all 4 programs. A few years ago, I happened to stumble upon this really cool chart showing all the different requirements of honors, so I'll definitely leave that in the description box below, so make sure you go check that out and click the link over there if you want to see the table that I found. Anyways, here are the 4 programs. The 1794, Honors Leadership, Chancellors, and Haslam. These are in accordance to their ranks. So 1794, I guess you could say, is technically the lowest one, and Haslam is the highest honors. Nevertheless, all 4 of them are honors, and it doesn't really matter which one you're in. Now the 1794, since I am already with that, I pretty much know a lot about it. They're focused on the 4 pillars, which is academic engagement, volunteer spirit, global and cultural awareness, and finally, campus involvement. For each of the 4 pillars, you have to write an essay that's about 250 words or 1-page reflection on your experiences that you do. Next, we have honors leadership, which is, I guess, leadership driven. Yeah, personal development, leadership, ethics, service learning, social and cultural awareness. Chancellor students have to take 5 honors classes throughout their time at UT, which can be a bit of a daunting task, especially as a freshman. You got to start planning your academic careers as soon as you enter UT, which can be a bit stressful. Haslam is the most elite, so what their focus is on is community learners, research, scholarship, and cultural awareness, and finally justice. All 3 of these programs are 4 years except for 1794, which is 2 years. So I think it's the most manageable out of all 4. It's definitely the least amount of stress, at least in my opinion. I could be a little bit biased, just a little bit. And both 1794 and Chancellors accept 400 incoming students, Honors Leadership accepts 125, and Haslam only accepts 15. So you can see the difference between all 4 of them based on their acceptance rates. Some of them are a little bit more higher, like 1794, and then the Chancellors, and Haslam, super competitive. I'm pretty sure that the only 2 programs that you can get into as a current student at UT that wasn't previously offered admission prior to coming to UT is the 1794 and the Chancellors. I do not believe that you can get into the honors programs of Haslam and Honors Leadership because they already have a set 4-year program developed, and you really can't come into that at a later date. So also keep that in mind as well. Okay, let's talk about your qualifying GPAs. Now for high school students, you need to have at least a 3.8 GPA for the 3 honors programs, 1794, Honors Leadership, and Chancellors. The Haslam one, you have to have a 4.0 GPA to qualify. The ACT scores also vary a little bit. For Chancellors, 1794, and Honors Leadership, you all have to have at least a 28 GPA, super scored. You can have a GPA that is super scored to qualify. For Haslam, you have to have at least a 31. Since we've addressed all the basic requirements, I did want to tell you guys a little bit more about the program. You're going to have to write 4 essays per semester. Yes, that's per semester, 8 essays a year, 16 essays total. I'm going to be making a pro-con video coming soon. Also, for 1794, you do have to take a University Honors 101 class. Typically, you do that your first semester that you're in the program, and it's just a 1-credit class, but oh my goodness, it feels like way more than 1 credit. I wanted to quickly pop in here and say there is one thing I forgot to mention about the 1794 honors program, which is you do have to take an honors English if you're an upcoming freshman. I had to take English 118. Back to the video. Moving on to the honors leadership track, you have to minor in leadership studies, and then you might also have to do a couple other things. I'm not too familiar with honors leadership. Then for Chancellors, you got to take the 5 honors classes, and then you also have to go to 3 Becker seminars per semester. I also forgot to mention with Chancellors, you do have to take 1 year of English. There's English 198 honors, and then English 298 honors. These are super rigorous English curriculums, and they're pretty hard, but I've heard they're overall relatively manageable. If you are a good student and you keep up with your work, you should be okay. Finally, with the Haslam experience, you have to take about 19 credits a semester. I'm not sure if you really have a choice. All 15 scholars are grouped onto the exploratory track, and then they go from there and see what their interests are. You will be taking an extremely heavy course load if you're in Haslam, and most likely a lot of you guys are going to have the same classes because you're all one group. There are some pretty unique and really great benefits to joining honors, but I'm going to save that for part 2, so make sure you come back at a later time to hear that video. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!